Hello, welcome. Welcome to Hug Nation Live, a daily practice of sharing gratitude, communal gratitude, group gratitude. I think I need to make a more of a point of when I talk about gratitude, something about group gratitude or communal gratitude, because that's really what I am most excited about. I mean, yes, gratitude is the hammer for which I hit all nails, but it's the group gratitude that is so transformative in my life that it keeps me with this practice that magnifies the impact. So thank you for being a part of this practice. If you've got a name for it, let's brainstorm. Thanksgiving. No, that's taken. Good morning, John. Streak Alive. I want to apologize for inflicting this photo that's on screen on you. I put a picture on my Facebook yesterday of me with my hair big. Are you growing your hair out? And a few people that knew me 20 years ago was like, when I met you, you had long hair. And so I found a picture of me when I used to have long hair, and it makes me laugh. So much of that guy is still in here, and so much of that guy is shed, evaporated, eviscerated. Morning time is when we like to sing and look for the good stuff we can bring to a place with our friends and the happiness that none ends. And if we can do it, always will be good. And if you've got gratitude to share and that's the way in your underwear, then come on, now's the time that we should. Did I say should before? Good? Would? Anyway, just trying to fulfill my sort of mental obligation or commitment to myself to start each day with a little improv to force the mind to be a little limber. All right, let's take down this picture. So, I mean, it's so weird. Look at that young man. In some ways, I'm like, yeah, that's what I look like, right? No, you do not look like that. You look like this. Which I still am not used to. The beard. And this mustache that's getting a little much. If you were here, I would love to hear from you what you're grateful for. Do tell. Am I in focus? I don't feel like I'm not in focus. Okay, maybe I am. It is Sunday, so hopefully you're having a day of rest. I've already been slamming coffee, so I am not embraced rest today so much. John says, today I'm grateful for you, sir, for creating a space where I can feel welcomed and loved. Thank you. I've been feeling good about myself this week. And truthfully, a lot of it is because of external validation. I've been creating pieces of video art that have been received really well, and it feels so good to know that, thousands and thousands and thousands of people have their lives enhanced by meeting my grandpa. And lots of people going to Burning Man are getting little bits of inspiration or permission from pieces of art I put out there. And yeah, things are incredible with my partner. Really appreciating my beloved Lisa. Really grateful for my brother and his family. I'm grateful. I'm going to get to, tonight. I'm going to go and stay at their house for a few nights with my nephew Carter, which I'm super stoked about. And yeah, feeling full of gratitude. I mean, I know a lot of people that are going through some really hard things right now. Health, relationship, people whose homes have burned down recently, people who've, marriages that have fallen apart, and people whose beloved pets are in their final days. I mean, these are all parts of life. And I'm feeling really blessed that at this moment, the overwhelming themes in my world are ones of joy and gratitude and connection and love and service. And with the recognition that, as always, life is all those things. So when we're in a moment of remembering our divinity and connected to our higher selves and feeling our worth and feeling the oneness and the love, and then pay attention, shine a light, take pictures, remember, and then know that when the times are rough, that they will be temporary, as will the good times. And my philosophy is always, like when you're in the down times, maybe don't be so engaged, not engaged, but like pay, I don't know, like, I know you're supposed to feel your feels, yes, feel the feelings, but tread lightly and know it's going to pass, as opposed to when the good stuff, you're like, remember this, yeah, remember this. Those of them, like, okay, I know it's happening, I'm here for it, but let's just let it happen, or feel it so it can pass through me. Hello, High Noon. High Noon says, glad you're here in this beautiful space and time of here now. To John, we got John Smith and John Halcyon Stin. Maybe I'll be Brother John, and you can be John. I'm grateful for a experience that I had last night that was an opportunity for me to witness where I am in my growth, the results of lots of work, which is that we grilled last night, and Lisa wanted to try grilling salmon. We've never grilled salmon. And so I was grilling salmon as well as some veggies and some other things, and I'm new to this grill, and I thought things were going pretty well, and then Lisa came out to help me with something, and in the process of retrieving the salmon from the grill and to put on the plate that we were both holding, which in retrospect, that was a bad idea, because I should have taken the plate and brought it to the salmon and put it on. But I carried the plate from the grill all the way, and it slipped off my spatula onto the ground and onto my flip-flop foot. So I had this moment where I was like, no, frustrated, angry at myself, and then I was burnt, and the oil was just like continued like burning, and then I was like pain and frustration, and Lisa was so perfect. She wasn't like, oh no, and she wasn't like, oh, she just was kind of like present and acknowledging that I was probably have reason to be frustrated right now. And I was like, a part of me wanted to like slam the spatula against and Lisa offered a suggestion. I said, why don't you take this inside? And because there was other things that came off the grill, including some more salmon that was okay. And so she took everything inside, and then I was outside, with this energetic going through me of like anger, frustration, pain, and I was witnessing it doing some irrational things, like if Lisa would have just let me do this on my own, like it's her fault because she tried to help me. It's like totally irrational, and so we got to go through, let that go. Real okay. My foot's okay. We have more food. I also burned the buns that I was heating up at the time. So there's these burnt buns and a ruined, beautiful piece of fish and a burnt foot. And so I took 2 minutes. I cleaned up the mess and just let it all pass through. And then it was like, all is well. We have food to eat. We are so abundant. The pain has subsided in the burn. And I still have my dream life on the other side of that sliding door with incredible food, an incredible woman, and was able to go inside and be clear, be like, okay, it's passed through me. And I was proud of myself, like that was a process of feeling, having the human stuff that happens when we get dysregulated and returning to baseline. So, like, pat on the back, enjoy the meal. Chalk that up to an offering to the gods. The fish was for you, God. I had a coaching client yesterday that was talking about how hard it is when you get reminded that you're not the person you thought you were. You're not as spiritually evolved as you thought you were. And I was like, let me reframe that. I think you're visualizing this person, this version of yourself is like on this trajectory of a consistent state of mental clarity and peace. That's not how it works. You, at times, are at this peak, remembering oneness, divinity, clarity, loving, peace, and then you get dysregulated. Something happens. You get frustrated. You judge someone. You human, and then you're not the person that is your best self. And then you work through it and find your way back. And so the path of the person that you want to be is not this, it's this. And those dips don't go as low and they don't last very long. And you start to kind of laugh at yourself when you get back in track. But the important thing to remember is that those dips are not evidence that you are not the person you want to be. Does that make sense? I used to do this all the time where, let's say yesterday I did hit the grill with the spatula because I couldn't, I wanted to. So let's say I did it. afterwards I would have been in this shame place of like, I thought I was better than that. I've been working on myself for decades and I still just like lose my shit over something stupid. God damn it. But that's not evidence. A that's just a humaning moment where an old part, an old thing, an old reaction happened. And then that new awesome version of yourself is the one who recovers, repairs, and gets back to baseline. So I'm pretty happy with the state of my baseline right now. Very happy with it. And last night was an awesome demonstration to myself that I can recover from a dip pretty well as well. That's the best we can do. And remember that when we see others. Don't take other people's dips as evidence of who they are or what their baseline is. When you see your partner do something bad, it's tempting to be like, okay, now that's part of my definition of them. They never trust me. Like, no, they fell into a place of fear and they got jealous and then they found their way back. So don't hold them in your definition of them in their trough, in the low place, especially if they then work back up and repair. Forgive ourselves, forgive others, know that's the path. Do, up and down. And then the downs become easier and easier, and the high moments become more and more consistent. Easy for me to say today. Tomorrow I'm going to be like, oh man, life sucks. I fucking can't do anything. And then I'll have to see how long it takes for me to be reminded that that too is temporary. High Noon says, I'm grateful for those beings who have been in the space and time of circle of gratitude. Yeah. Hey, Bob. Bob says, grateful for spending the entire day with family celebrating my wife's 56th birthday, and wanted to thank you for responding to my daughter recently. Awesome, Bob. That makes me feel good. I don't know. I'm not sure what responding was, but I try to respond and give a moment of connection and presence to anyone who reaches out to me. It's an honor to someone takes the time to say hello. There are times when all I can manage is a thumbs up or a like or a heart. Like this last couple of weeks when, over the last week and a half, I've had, 750,000 people see some things and thousands of comments. And there are some afternoons when, if someone just says, I love this, I might just heart it. If they have if they say something that is like part of an opening to a conversation, or they share a story, I really try to acknowledge and respond in a way that makes someone feel heard. Because that's gifting, right? Our attention, our witnessing one another. Thanks for being here, Bob. Anyone else want to share any gratitude? Good morning, Juan. I am grateful for all the Burning Man excitement that I'm witnessing from friends and from my social streams. It is feeling a little weird. It just started feeling weird to not be going. And to see how many of my Facebook memories pop up that are Burning Man, Burning Man, Burning Man. And I've been going through some old hard drives and looking for videos and pictures from Pink Heart and from the Pink Ride, and there's some these like moments that it's like, I can't believe it. That was my life. That happened to me. That was real. I may say this again because I'm still working through the metaphor, but I had this thought yesterday as I was talking with Lisa about many of the adventures I've had in the past and many of the edgy experiences that many people in the world do not get to experience. I've had a bold life. Like, we were talking about my long hair, and she said, when you cut it, did you donate it? I go, yeah, I donated to Locks of Love. And actually, I got it cut on live television by Mario Lopez. Mario Lopez cut my hair on a talk show, and then they gave it to Locks of Love. And she just was like laughing, goes, oh my gosh, I forgot, like, your life. I'm like, yeah, I feel like the book of youth, like there's a coloring book for 20s to 50, 20 to 50 coloring book. If you go through my coloring book, every page is colored in. It's full. I don't flip back and through and go, oh, I should have done that. I wish I had a chance to do that. Oh, it's too bad I didn't. Oh, man. I've never been to Paris, but Lisa and I are planning on that. But there's a lot of, I've done some things. So I like the idea of having a saturated coloring book. And so as I got this new coloring book that is basically about the second half of life and partnership, I'm super excited. I'm like using colors and crayons, these rare colored crayons that I've never had before, and trying patterns and working with single colors for not just pink. Anyone have a last gratitude before we move on to have a hug and head out into our days? Good morning, Gerbot. I feel like if you got here late, you didn't see the picture we started with, so I should probably just inflict it upon you so you know what the people who got here early had to see. Yeah, people have been asking me, are you growing your hair out again? Yes. In the back of my mind, my goal is to get it this long again and have a gray, salt and peppery, big old head of hair. Although now, I don't think I'm going to be shaving my chest like I was back then. Okay, I shouldn't have done that to you. There should be a trigger warning. All right, Gerbot says, grateful for a wonderful dinner with friends last night and for sleeping in. Well, it's nice to see you now. And I'm so grateful to know that you and Mingle have been communicating and collaborating, and so grateful for all the things and people and energy heading to the burn, that I feel like my energy is there. Like I saw a tips and tricks video that someone uploaded, and I was watching it going like, their wording of things and their tips that they're sharing sounds a lot like they've watched my videos. like maybe it's just the way things are done, but I kind of feel like if she didn't watch my video, the person she learned it from watched my video. And that's kind of a cool feeling. Yeah, I know. My hair was, and it was like super curly. Like I would have to dry it in multiple hair ties because if I just let it dry naturally, it was so curly that it would like it'd be in my face. I couldn't keep it out of my face. It was so big, which makes me wonder, why am I doing it again? Because I'm testing Lisa's love. I'm already testing her with, like, eating and kissing is starting to become, it needs a plan where it didn't used to. High Noon says, I'm going to try my best to be mindful of the here and now today. Slow down and focus on purpose, not perfect. Awesome. Anybody else want to share some objective, some way of they want to be today or remind themselves? I want to try to show some body self-care and not get too connected to the computer. I want to give some attention to being really present and inquisitive with my nephew. I want to put some energy into a couple projects that are that would need attention. Ooh, I guess something else I was going to ask you. Gerbot says, I have a virgin camping with me this year and she refused. Oh, she referred to outfits and not costumes, and I thought of you. Yeah. Oh my gosh. It's a weird, I mean, the amount of energy and passion and conviction that I have had and shared about Burning Man over the last 26 years is significant. Like my crusade to not use the word costume. I've never straightened my hair. No, if that's what you're asking. Okay, so here's the thing that I was gonna I might ask more or put them together. So a friend asked me if I would give them some Burning Man homework, meaning give them some tasks to do while they're on playa, like a scavenger hunt kind of thing. And so I've started creating that. So I wanted to plant a seed and see, what would you put as a scavenger hunt thing or an activity that they should do? Or one, two, do you have any suggestions for me? And two, would you be interested in getting a list like that? Some of the ones that I'm making are very personal, but there's other ones that I think could be fun for anyone that maybe I will distribute it. Not like, I'm not going to post it, but if people request it, I'll send out this list of adventures or tasks, like, what should we do today? Oh, let's try to check off something off Halcyon's list. Gerbot says, I want to be productive and make forward progress on packing so that I can stay on schedule and depart on time. Love it. John says, today I'm continuing to learn how to love and forgive myself. Spent most of my life beating myself up over the smallest things. So John, that's fantastic. And let me just, if you are open, I'm going to share with you the phrasing that helps me the most with that process. And actually, I was just talking about it a little bit of like that idea of baseline. When you're living, you're going to have dips. You're going to get dysregulated. You're going to get frustrated. You're going to be judgmental. You're going to beat yourself up. You're going to get angry at someone else. You're going to... That's humaning. Everybody does that. There are people who put a public persona and they only show themselves when they're up here. But with the exception of extremely rare beings who have a divinely given gift, like Eckhart Tolle or Byron Katie, and I've even heard things that sometimes they do that too, or a someone who is in a monastic type practice who eliminates all of the things of life that trigger you. When you go to that place of self-judgment, see if you can just think of the word humaning and notice, I'm humaning. It's not a failure. It's not evidence of anything wrong with you. It is exactly what is supposed to happen when you are experiencing consciousness and this complex thing of superego, id, and ego, or parts work, however you want to look at your psyche. It is a complicated collection of personalities and parts, and it's all okay. I mean, even like shadow work is the process of going from that place of like, oh man, I did it. I like, stop being judgmental. Instead, trying to go like, I have a judgmental part of me. I want to learn to love that part of me that gets judgmental. You know, I had this experience recently, and I was at this retreat that was basically in darkness. There was like one candle in the room, and there was music being played, and so I got up and I was dancing, and I noticed that I was kind of like I was dancing with my belly out, and I like was like, oh my God, I look fat right now, and I like changed my posture and pulled in my stomach, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is such a beautiful opportunity for me to witness these insane thoughts that a part of me have, and this old insecure part of me that for many years was protecting me and had value and deserved more attention and more authority in choosing which thoughts govern my life. But in this moment, in pure darkness, where everyone else is doing their own thing and no one is looking at me, and even if they were looking at me, I'm in the dark. Noticing this irrational thought was like, oh man. And I kind of had this, it was so helpful, like trying to find compassion for that voice, that personality in me, that fearful, scared, insecure element of me. Because you can't ban those, you can't kick them out. It doesn't work that way. But you can befriend them, and as you accept them and honor them and appreciate them, when you do notice that they are in the driver's seat, you're like, oh, no. Actually, a more evolved, patient, wise version of myself is actually going to take the wheel. So why don't you be co-pilot? Why don't you just sit over? Hey, you're still welcome here in the car, but I got this. And that was funny. You almost drove it straight into a ditch, but we're good. We're good. Heinen says, what about a bingo? I mean, I've seen some fun bingos out there. What I'm working on is some tasks. adventures. Gerbot says, I can think of so many things. Here's one. See the opening fireworks on Esplanade, Monday at 9 p.m. Ooh, that's interesting. All right. Gerbot says, go to the airport and get scenic tour. Stretch goal, the Mile High Club. I've never done that. I've never taken a flight. Part of it is because I know that it's just, you have to set aside a chunk of time. And I'm often so frantic with wanting to see and meet so many people that taking a number of hours to do a task is hard for me. But that need to be doing more decreased with sobriety out there. Gerbot says, another one, climb on something. I love getting high at Burning Man. I see what you did there. All right. Well, it's late. I am so grateful for this time together and grateful for this group gratitude practice. So let's, wherever you are, hug ourselves, give yourself a squeeze, embrace this body, embrace one another, embrace this intentional gathering that we just experienced. Let's be inspired by each other. Let's be energized by each other. Let's bring this energy into our interactions of the day and be love ambassadors. If we have inspiration about going to the playa or others going to the playa, let's bring that into our default world. Let's see how altered we can feel as we let the creative energy start to lead us. Let's take a deep breath in and squeeze. On behalf of Grandpa Caleb and all of us here, so nice to share Hug Nation with you. Happy Sunday. See you tomorrow.